What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum. I'm back with the 15th installment of my NBA 75th anniversary team collection. So let's go ahead and start this week with a guy who went to my favorite college, which is Indiana University, and a guy who's been a bit polarizing, at least among his peers. I guess among fans as well. But no matter what you think about Isaiah Thomas, really, his resume speaks for itself. He's a 12-time All-Star. He's a 2-time NBA champ. He's a Finals MVP. I know I'm repeating myself here, but Finals MVP is really important to me. And he's probably not as high on some of the all-time lists as people might think that he would be. For example, he's only 9th all-time in assists. But regardless, when you listen to people that watched Isaiah, most of them are pretty adamant that they would pick Isaiah over guys at the top of the list like, Stockton and Jason Kidd and CP3. Now, I mentioned that he went to Indiana earlier. Of course, he went there and won an NCAA title in 1981. He coached the Pacers for 3 years until Larry Bird came in and pushed him aside. But, considering all that, I'm kind of surprised that I don't have more Isaiah stuff. This is pretty much it. In the future, I do at least want to add his 86 Fleer rookie. I feel like that's an important one. And then also he's got a Pacers coach auto. It was a Fleer Tradition glossy set called Coach's Corner. I need to add one of those too. But here's what I do have. And ironically enough, they're both unlicensed cards. So you've got this Collector's Edge Time Warp series that had a bunch of the rookies from 1996. Paired them with a legend, made it look like as if they were guarding one another, and then had the legend sign it. So I've got the Isaiah Thomas here. Those were, I want to say, this one was out of 1,000. So I've got that one. They're not incredibly rare, but just a cool little set that I've always liked. And then I've got this, it's supposed to be a nameplate, but some of those Pistons screen printed jerseys, the letters were super big. Couldn't fit it all on one card, and then for whatever reason, they split the letters up. So I believe that this is the O and the M from Thomas, and you can't go by the numbering on Leaf cards. It never lines up. I would say like 90% of the time it never lines up with the actual letter that it's supposed to represent. So I'm guessing it's the O and the M. Either way, I like a lot of these Leaf cards, especially when there's no room for them to put anything cheesy on there, like a picture of the jersey, and I like nameplate cards. So I had to grab that one. All right, next up we've got Nate Thurmond. It's who's a guy who played, a lot of time in the league. I think it was 14 seasons. He averaged 15 points. He averaged 15 boards. Nate was a 6'11" center that earned 5-time all-defensive honors. And seeing he was, obviously before my time, I have to rely on whatever footage is out there and then whatever other players have said about him. And I know people have tried to say that Wilton Russell didn't have good competition in the 60s. Well, they're completely overlooking players like Nate Thurmond and Walt Bellamy. And out of those two names in particular, I seem to remember Wilt's book talking about how Nate Thurmond was always a difficult, just a frustrating matchup for him. And then Rick Barry raved on and on about Nate Thurmond and playing with him. So that tells me, it's a little bit more than just the numbers. So here's what I have for Nate here. I've got this 1969 Topps rookie of his. Which interesting, you can see just it's got the name on the back, no number or anything. So that was when some of them, they were in warm-up, some of them the jerseys were reversed. I've talked about that before. I'm not going to go on about that. This 72 Topps is a card that I personally sent to Nate Thurmond in January of 2013, along with $15 cash, which I didn't like sending money to players back then, so it must have meant that it was cheaper for me to go that route than to buy one already signed. But anyway, 2013 me bit the bullet, and I'm glad I did, because I'd rather have one that came straight from Nate Thurmond. So that was kind of cool. My little personal connection to Nate Thurmond, obviously nothing major. We didn't have a huge interaction or anything, but I've got that for the collection. And then I've got these two pieces, and I'll show you this one first. This is a patch auto. I hate the sticker auto, to be honest, but prime pieces of Nate Thurmond are so hard to come by that when I saw this, I got it for a pretty good price, and I grabbed it, and it's 1 out of 5. Well, eventually I found a patch on ComC that I liked a lot better, so I went ahead and grabbed that as well, but My plan was, once I get this, I'll get rid of the other one. But seeing as this is so limited and there's just not a lot of Nate Thurmond stuff out there, I have no reason to have to get rid of this. So I've kept it, and I think I am going to hang on to it. So, but that's my Nate Thurmond stuff. All right, moving on then. It's fitting that the next player on the list is another big man from around the same era, although he was more 70s, and that's Wes Unseld. And Wes came into the league and made an immediate impact, as evidenced by him winning Rookie of the Year, which, a lot of guys have done that, but he also won MVP in his rookie season. Not a lot of guys have done that. It's just him and Wilt Chamberlain. Now, Wes Unseld was an incredible rebounder, an incredible outlet passer. Guess what? It might remind you a little bit of Kevin Love. Not to say that they're, on par with one another, but Wes Unseld's teammate was Stan Love, who is Kevin Love's father. Kevin Love's middle name is Wes, so Kevin Love was actually named after Wes Unseld. It's his godfather. I don't know if you knew that, but anyway, just a side note there. If you look at Wes's numbers, once again, recurring theme here, they don't tell the full story. You'll see that he averaged under 10 points per game for 7 seasons, but he was a force underneath the basket and helped lead the Bullets to 4 finals appearances over the span of 7 years. They won in 1978. Wes was the MVP. I love my finals MVPs. So here's what I've got for Wes Unseld when it comes to cards. I've got his 1969 Topps rookie. I've got these 2 cards, which I don't believe I got from him. I believe I got them from another collector that at one point Wes signed them in the mail. He wasn't signing when I was sending stuff, but Wes had a pretty good run in the mail from what I understand. So, and yes, I consider this complete for my 72 top set. Sure, I would love to have all 3 of them on there, but tracking Wilt down is really difficult these days. All right, and then I've got these relics here. Now, Wes Unseld does not have a lot of NBA relics out there, and I've only seen them in, I think, 2 different sets, and this is one of them. And I've only seen this version of the Prime, and it's numbered to 10. And I have 2 of them. I just grab them when I see them. I actually like this one better here. It's got the hand from the Bullets logo from the L's. You can see them there on the jersey, but it's 2 hands reaching up like a jump ball. Kind of a cool logo there. It would look really dated now, but cool for the time. What's interesting about these is that this, I would say for 99% of Panini's veteran-worn relics, they're game-worn. This one says it's an event-worn swatch, so I'm curious to know what event this came from. Maybe, they might have had a change of heart around this time because they didn't use Wes Unseld relics for much anything else. I don't know if they didn't, maybe it was a shirt that he wore that had a small Bullets logo on it. I don't know exactly what the situation was, but we didn't see a lot of Wes Unseld relics after this, so I don't mind grabbing one that's player-worn or event-worn in this instance. I just wish I knew more about it. All right, the next guy is one that you should be, this is recent enough you should be familiar with, and that's Dwayne Wade. So I'm not going to talk much about the stats or anything. We know he's a 3-time champ. He won Finals MVP in 06, and then he won the scoring title in 09. And despite the fact that I've never been a huge Dwayne Wade fan, I've ended up with a few nice cards of his because I collect historical NBA stuff and NBA final stuff, and, he went 5 times. So it's going to be there. And he's probably the 3rd best 2 guard of all time. So he played in my favorite era that I'm the most nostalgic about. So it only makes sense that I have some stuff of him. So I'm going to start with just your basic rookies first and work my way from there. I've always liked these Bazooka Joe cards. I have a lot of nostalgia for this set. I've got a Topps rookie here. This is one I found. It was poorly labeled on eBay. I got it for like $20. I've not got the auto authenticated, but it's a good looking auto to me. I've looked at a lot of Wade stuff, and I don't really have any doubts about it. Also, the other stuff the guy was selling looked pretty good to me too. So anyway, I have that. Maybe someday I'll get it authenticated. I have this Upper Deck rookie here, which these were a lot more, I would say they were a lot more limited than the Topps rookies. Top stuff was a little more common. And then I've got a Topps Chrome here. You got to have the Topps Chrome. As far as relics go, got a few things here. This was an interesting set. I think it was from 2006. Yeah, or 2005. I'm sorry, 2005. So this Most of the players in this set, I think it was ties from the NBA draft. Well, Wade wasn't a rookie that year, so this is just an authentic player-worn dress tie, which seems like kind of a strange card. I don't even think it's the tie that he's wearing in that picture. But at that point, Dwayne Wade had signed on to be a spokesman. And they did a lot of weird stuff in 05 and 06 with celebrities and poker themes and ties and all sorts of weird relics. So, but I like weird stuff. So seeing as he was the only real significant player in that set, I had to grab it. I guess maybe if I chose anyone else from that set, it'd be Andrew Bogut. But the options were pretty thin. All right, but I've got this one here. This is from 2006-2007 Topps Big Game, and it's from the 2006 NBA Finals. So that's a Finals worn patch, and then it's got a sticker auto of his on there as well. I believe that is out of 50. I got to be careful here when I flip this. Yeah, 29 out of 50. This was another rare set. I think this was from either Black Friday or Father's Day, one of those types of sets. But it's a ball that was used in the NBA Finals against the Mavericks. It's funny. Well, that one was against the Mavericks. This one was the other one against the Mavericks. There's a LeBron in the set too, and he sells for a lot more. Well, guess what? It was the same basketball. But anyway, so that, and not numbered. Okay, there we go. It's Father's Day. Father's Day 2012. So not a numbered card, but also not a common card either. I have no clue how many of them are out there. And then I've got this championship relic here. This is another game-worn Finals jersey of Dwayne Wade. That one is from Black Friday 2013. So it looks like it's from the, they said there it's from the 2013 NBA Finals. So pretty cool stuff. I've got some more stuff of Wade somewhere. It's just there were only so many boxes I could dig through for this week. All right. Next up, we've got Bill Walton here. And now, Bill Walton, you know, I said at the start, and I've said several times during this series, that it's not my objective here to argue if someone belongs on the list or not. And I've tried to stick to that. Although I have to admit, Bill Walton is a tough case for me. There's no disputing his talent, though. Chances are, if he'd stayed healthy, he'd probably rank high on the list of all-time greats. But the guy didn't even make it to 500 regular season games. And I am very big on longevity. However, there are some things that he accomplished even in the short time that are hard to ignore. He took his team to the finals and won finals MVP in just his third season, which was 1977. I should also add that he led the league in blocks and rebounds that year, so really big year. He starts the next season in similar fashion, so you know people think they're probably on the path to repeat. The Blazers were 50-10, and then he broke his foot. You know, despite the injury, though, he still won MVP that season, which that's when, if you'll notice, people, when they were talking about Embiid this year, some people were kind of referring back to Bill Walton. Hey, you remember when Bill Walton played 58 games and won MVP? Well, there you have it. Now, he missed 3 of the next 4 seasons with foot issues, although one of the seasons was a protest against the Blazers as well. So he was unhappy with them and how they treated his injury, got traded to the Clippers, then ended up with Boston at the end of his career. And even though he was hobbled, he won 6th Man of the Year and helped the Celtics win a title in '86. So, like I said, you know, I'm big on longevity, but it's hard to ignore all of that stuff. And I don't want to be disrespectful to Bill Walton because he's overcome a lot in his career and in his life up to this point. So here's what I have, though. I've got a really beat-up rookie, which, you know what, I like my beat-up rookies. I think I got that at a show for $10. Couldn't turn that down. A little bit nicer rookie that I got in a lot. Though it's got like an ink spot there. But otherwise, it's a pretty good-looking rookie. And don't have any autos, don't have any Clippers stuff, which I should. Eventually, I'll be adding those because Bill Walton has signed a ton. His autos are cheap. But I do have this Celtics patch from Flawless here, numbered 11 out of 20. All right, there you have it. Like I said, that's the 15th installment. If you enjoyed that, make sure to like, comment, and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Remember, there are new episodes of the audio podcast that come out every Thursday, and thanks for watching.